Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at SMT in Nuremberg, and I'm joined by a couple of gentlemen to discuss the topic of EMS manufacture, particularly in Eastern Europe, perhaps as a low-cost environment, a low-cost alternative to Asia, but also with some differing needs. I'm joined by Sven from C-Place and Alexander from Tegor. Alexander, can I start with you? You're a company that's been in the electronics industry for a long, long time, but recently developed into an EMS business. What do you think are the unusual challenges you have in your region compared to perhaps elsewhere in Europe?
Well, that's a really good question, simply because starting for more than 16 years in the material procurement, we had ourselves a very good channel of distribution, and then the question arises, what should we do next? Because as you see, the Southeastern Europe market is very specific. It's not so high volume in terms of electronics and component distribution. And simply we added the value of the machinery, and combining these things together, we can now offer the EMS service to the customer, especially because we are not a form of classical EMS supplier where the customer send the material to us. Now all the worries are on us. The customers can rest at ease. We can supply the material, we can produce, and then we can export the final product to the market. And in terms of business, I think that Southeastern Europe, especially our region here, is quite a potential for the future.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting there is you start with a robust supply chain, a robust logistics supply chain, and you add the manufacturing part. And in some ways, parts of the manufacturing are a bit kind of me too, but other parts are quite complicated. Sven, from your point of view, this market of Southeast Europe is one area, but you're covering the whole of Eastern Europe. What are you seeing in that environment in terms of areas of growth and differing challenges to elsewhere?
Certainly, I mean, if we compare Eastern Europe to, for instance, China or other Asian regions, for sure the common denominator is that lower costs are searched by the companies. But on the other side, I think the strength of Eastern Europe is the combination of lower costs with also a short supply chain into Europe, which I think makes it a very interesting location to manufacture. And in those regards, of course, a supplier needs to be, let's say, kind of flexible to adjust to a tighter budgets, which you have in Eastern Europe than maybe throughout Western Europe. But on the other side, providing proper service and support, short reaction times to those customers helps them to be more competitive, because this short reaction and delivery time is actually their strength compared to Asian competitors.
Okay, and Sven, from a point of view of you as a supplier of equipment, you have to have that kind of global brand. You have to provide the same quality equipment, the same quality of service, the same support everywhere. But when the demands are so strong in terms of getting the price right, and maybe they don't want the latest generation kit, but they want something that's economic and suits their needs. Do you have the flexibility to be able to cope with that?
Oh, sure we do. If you take the opportunity and have a look at the booth, you will see there are several product lines which we offer. And for sure we have our latest generation, the S6 series, which is targeted at very flexible customers with the highest quality standards. But of course we also have more attractive offerings also for lower price or lower cost looking customers. So in a certain way, C-Place is offering a wider range of products than just the high end. And as I said, especially then if it comes to solutions for customers, if it's the whole package, and this is what is important, it's about service and the value you deliver to the customer, then also we as a supplier are flexible enough to find solutions which suit every customer need.
Yeah, and from your point of view, Alexander, it's not about what the machine costs, is it? It's the cost of ownership, the cost of placement, what you need to deliver to your customer. Your customers are demanding. They're expecting a lower price because you're in that region, but they're also demanding the same flexibility and agility, I guess.
It's actually a very strange combination, You have to achieve and serve the finest European customer by offering them the lowest price possible,
Okay.
This is maybe a difference that we have to combine, but on the other hand, this is a good opportunity for us as well to learn and to adapt according to European Union and European markets, because especially if you take, for example, the German market, very high demanding market, in this case we are also learning by facing a new business opportunities, new business challenges. And on the other hand, our biggest advantages are definitely low labor costs. For example, not maybe so low as the Chinese guys, but definitely very, very competitive based price. And something I forgot to mention is very important, that now we are facing a very strange trend that a lot of European companies are moving the production from China in terms of EMS, and they are placing the production units relatively closer to Europe. Not directly to Europe because naturally of the costs and everything, but for the nearby countries which have low energy, low working labor, a lot of benefits, and in that way I think that this is our chance to go into the European market.
It's a good opportunity, and it's something we kind of, within the journalistic world, we call it onshoring. It's the reverse of that drift to the Asia that we saw.
And for example, we are just a few hours away, you know, from Europe. We are, let's say, about 3 to 4 hours away from Germany too, and it's much easier from them to control the project, to be involved. If something went wrong or if something is good, they can come immediately and we can fix it. You know, that's not the case with Far East and so on.
Absolutely. We're seeing that. And Sven, from your point of view, are you seeing that benefit of that onshoring happen throughout your region? Are you seeing that we're seeing volumes in the Ukraine, people are talking about Russia as an EMS region. Is that happening all across that area?
Certainly, at the moment, if I look at Eastern Europe as a whole economic zone, Hungary is struggling a bit, in my opinion. It has its macroeconomic reasons, maybe also some political. And don't want to get political here, but what we see is that there's a certain trend of moving production out of Hungary into, for instance, Ukraine or also Bulgaria. Is, in our opinion, profiting from unfortunately the struggle of Hungary at the moment. So we do see a certain shift in the region. Nonetheless, the demand for solutions, also for electronics production in Eastern Europe, is still there. So it just moves a little bit into other countries, but you never know. In 3 years, it might return to some
it might
places.
go somewhere else. And from your point of view, you've got to be there. Well, I was going to say there with it, but you've got to be there ahead of it, I guess, to service and support it.
That is correct, but since we have a wide range of customers, and for sure our past with Siemens has helped us a lot, so the brand awareness is there. So we already got quite a good network throughout Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria, in Romania, in Hungary, Czech Republic, and we are looking into more areas where we can expand to, also with service locations. For us, it's, I think, time really to also go to customers which we haven't targeted in the past and provide them with the proper service.
Okay, and from your point of view, Alexander, your customers, I guess, are looking for this broad solution. Is your area an area that has a good base of skills, good, well-educated workforce that can provide those engineered solutions?
Definitely, because from Serbia, where I am, especially there are several university centers with a high level of tradition in terms of electronics in general. For example, in Niš, which used to be one of the strongest centers in former Yugoslavia in terms of electronic, there is a very high quantity and quality skilled engineers, which gives us a very strong supportive base for developing process and also for manufacturing process, you know, because one without the other is virtually impossible to do it like that, you know. But this is just in case that we have to be sure ourselves, you know, because at the end the quality of the product is all that matters.
Yeah, and you have to train internally to make sure you have that. Absolutely. But guys, it sounds like the Eastern Europe area, like most of Europe, is here to stay as a manufacturing region, and that's really good news. We've seen the drift to Asia, but it seems to be a good solid base here now, so that's great. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks.
And enjoy the rest of the show.